guy that we can't overlook. You never overlook any opponent. We can't base everything just off power.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I want everybody to know that it's gonna be an upset.
Floyd Mayweather, who apparently trained with Lamont Roach, has lauded him, adding that people are too quick to condemn him without appreciating the effort he puts in.
Another big fight. Two great competitors going out there to show the world what they got. Tank has been on a big stage for a while now, but we all have to give somebody else the opportunity. Before I became TBE, somebody had to give me the opportunity. So what Tank is doing is giving another tough competitor an opportunity. He's tough, and when this fight first was made, I didn't know much about this fighter. Then I had a chance to do my homework and look him up. And I faced guys like this before, you know, and this is a guy that we can't overlook. You never overlook any opponent. We can't base everything just off power.
Lamont Roach demonstrated his agility, quickness, and discipline throughout his private training. His footwork was accurate, his combinations were snappy, and his defense was spot on. Roach seemed fixed. Focused on re-ready or wah-wah, Lee's training makes him a champion, dispelling skeptics and demonstrating his true boxing danger.
No. He almost hit you. Pass me that. Hold him. I know what y'all gonna do. I go that way for a reason. How is she gonna record? How is she record?
Training video of Lamont Roach appears to be quite well prepared. He is making great progress and has excellent speed, footwork, and technique. His actions appear seamless, and each punch is delivered with precision. In order to ensure that every facet of his boxing game is flawless and prepared for the most important bout of his career, he has been honing his art. For Tankov's fans, Lamont Roach has stated that this battle would be a distressing evening. He thinks he has the means to pull off a significant upset, and that people are underestimating him. Roach is certain of his strategy and is aware of his ability to highlight Davis's flaws.
What came to fight was a very competitive fight, good fight.
Yeah, definitely.
You wore him down, I remember very well, wore him down, took control, looked very impressive. And the rumor is, not the rumor, the facts is you have a fight coming up in a few weeks versus Gervonta Tank Davis.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I want everybody to know that it's gonna be an upset.
Lamont Roach's chances of defeating Tank have been questioned by renowned boxing expert Al Bernstein. According to Davis Bernstein, Roach's prior performances don't demonstrate the strength required to defeat a strong opponent like Davis, who has an outstanding record and several titles. Roach must demonstrate that he is worthy of competing against a fighter of Davis's quality.
About the big one coming up in a month. Another guy you called several of his fights, Gervonta Davis, fighting Lamont Roach is a significant favorite. Do you think Roach is being undervalued as an underdog, or it will probably go the way people think it will go?
Roach is coming up in weight. He came up in weight to him. I don't see him. He's a good fighter, but I don't see. He's nothing in his past tells me he's going to beat Gervonta Davis or even be competitive with him. And I'm not. It's not a denigration of Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter. He won a title at a lower weight, and that was a surprise to some people that he did get, even though he was a good prospect. So it's just hard to imagine him beating Davis.
the other Davis is fighting for a world title 2 weeks before in New York against Baranchik.
Oh yeah, Keyshawn Davis. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating fight and a really, really good fight. And you know, Davis has looked really good in his recent fights, but this is certainly the best fighter he's fought. Although he just beat a good fighter.
Concerns have been raised by the boxing community over Davis's choice of Lamont Roach as his next opponent. Critics claim that Davis is steering clear of more difficult bouts with elite opponents like Shakur. According to Stevenson, Davis ought to be competing against boxers with more well-known names and proven records rather than Roach, who isn't yet well-known.
Biggest puncher, I feel, at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
And what is it about him? Because I know he have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. And Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he wants.
Prominent boxers Oscar De La Hoya and Claressa Shields have offered their opinions on the Davis-Roach bout. While acknowledging Roach's potential, Shields highlights Davis's impressive abilities and track record. On the other side, De La Hoya thinks that Roach is being underappreciated and has the potential to surprise a lot of people if he adopts the appropriate approach.
Beat him. So Lamont Roach is a good fighter, but and I'm happy to see a fighter like Lamont Roach, who's had to come up the blue collar way, get a big opportunity, get a big payday. But now that I've said that, it's an underwhelming fight, and everybody's saying that because it's true. And this is a fight that would have made more sense for Gervonta Davis a couple years ago, back when Gary Russell was rumored as an opponent. And this would be, like a good DMV rivalry, two guys from the DMV area. But in 2024, when Tank's already headlined a lot of pay-per-views, it's underwhelming. And, before the Gervonta Davis fans try to come at my throat, I get it. Lomachenko walked away from the table. Of course, that's after, some years earlier of Tank saying he wasn't interested in that fight. Fight was never officially negotiated by Top Rank or PBC, but for years, Gervonta had no real intention of fighting Lomachenko, and now Lomachenko has walked away from the table now that the fight's available. I understand that. I understand Shakur Stevenson really is opting more the Williams Zepeda route. I understand that Teofimo Lopez has only really called Davis out once the Lamont Roach fight was really being talked about around Canelo Berlanga fight week and was close to probably being finalized.
Lamont Roach is a world champion, yet the general public doesn't know anything about him. Although Roach's supporters contend that his underdog status could work to his advantage, opponents Mamain underestimate his fighting prowess. Fighters who go in overlooked often give their best effort when they have nothing to lose. This lack of recognition adds to the impression that Davis has chosen an easy fight.
Checking for any suspicious opponents on Lamont Roach record. He's 25-1 with 10 big wins coming by the way of knockout, my people. He's in the super featherweight division. He's ranked number 14 in the world and number 3 in the USA, my people. He has a WBA title right now in the super featherweight division. He's fighting Gervonta Davis in December, but we got to check how he even got there and how he started his career. His pro debut, he went against Victor. He was 1-3. That's fine. It's your pro debut. First fight as a professional. You feel me? I ain't gonna get at you. Next person was 1-6. Alright, we ain't do better, but it's your second fight. Fourth person was 0-1. That was a little sussy because he ended up 0-10. He never won a day in his life. So he never got his hand raised in a boxing match. You feel me? And then the next person, he stepped it up though. He went to an undefeated. It's only 2 fights, but he was 2-0. Then 12-9, that's a journeyman. I'm not gonna lie. 4-2, 3-4, these are looking good. 8-5, that's a journeyman in the making.
Many are bashing Lamont Roach only because they are unaware of him or his achievements. Fans believe in Tank. Therefore, Davis, who is well known and has a lot of exposure, hasn't gotten the same attention. Be his fight may, be Roach's chance to make his way into the public boxing debate because they've witnessed his knockouts, domination.
They're offended by it. They don't have anything good to say about it. So obviously, you know, it does matter. What's up, everybody? It's your man Sean Zattel getting ready. So obviously it does matter. And just like Teofimo, Shakur, Lomachenko, they haven't exactly convinced me or the public that they really want to fight Gervonta Davis. I don't think myself or the public are that convinced. He really, really wants to fight them. And he has leverage being a draw at the box office that he is. So my challenge to Gervonta in 2025 is make it happen. You bring the money to the table. I know you can't tie someone up and force them to get in the ring with you, but you have the response. With great power comes great responsibility. He's one of the faces of boxing now in 2024, heading into 2025. Make it happen in 2025. Call these guys up if you have to. I guess Spence and Crawford talked on the phone to help make a fight happen. So do what you got to do. You know, throw your weight around. Make one of these guys get in the ring. Call them out because, again, I'm not convinced that I'm not letting off these other guys off the hook. You can't do this whataboutism where you just pick one side or the other. Oh, well, Tank's ducking Shakur or Shakur's ducking Tank. No, they both got to come together and realistically show the boxing world they want to happen, because fighters always tell us if two guys want to fight, then the promoters and all that can't really...
And title victories while Roach is still underappreciated.
Big hair, don't care. On the way to the gym, and I'm just like totally perplexed. I see a lot of people on Twitter and on the internet talking about disdain when it comes to, you know, the Tank fight with Lamont Roach. I'm like, what's the problem? They act like Lamont Roach has not fought anybody and he isn't anybody. You know, his only loss is against a former world champion in Jamel Herring. His last two fights with McCrory and Hector Luis Garcia, they were fire. This is a legitimate matchup. I don't know what the problem is. Everybody says that Tank needs to fight someone. Now he's fighting someone and people have something to say. Like, what do y'all want? What do y'all want from these guys? These are the matchups we want to see. You know, it's going to be good. I'm not going to say who I'm picking right now because I want to see more, but respect to both guys.
Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach. A lot of people shitting on the fight. A lot of people saying it's a cherry pick. A lot of people saying that, or criticizing Tank for bringing Lamont up to 130. What's your thoughts on the fight?
I think if you understand the history of DC and Baltimore, and then I'm familiar with Roach and them camp a little bit because I'm cool with people that's tight with them and stuff like that. So we all kind of encounter each other. I don't live nothing but 2.5 hours away, right? I wouldn't see none of them coming and laying down. And then Tank is Tank. I think you're going to get a DMV classic. Like, you're going to get a good fight. They're going to fight each other. Lamont going to fight Tank. You know what I'm saying? So for however long it lasts, or for however long the fireworks is, you know what I mean, going off, he going to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he going to come out there to lay down. So, I don't know. I mean, people going to criticize you no matter what, though, once you get in, like, Tank position. It don't really matter what you do. Like, if you wasn't fighting, like, Shakur or Devin right now in this next fight, it's probably, like, 3 people he could be fighting, and nobody wouldn't have nothing to say. You understand what I'm trying to say? Not to say that some fights can't be, like, better than others or whatever, but, yeah, if he wasn't fighting Devin, Shakur, or, like Teofimo, then somebody gonna say like it's a cherry pick or everything. I mean, everybody's a cherry pick. Leave it up to them.
Who wins that fight?
Lamont got to get away from Tank for 36 minutes.